Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Career a Day segment. We're highlighting some jobs that are in high demand, and we're telling you how you can land one of those jobs. With me right now is Monty Stanley. He's the Human Resources Manager for Mayfield Paper. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Well, you're welcome. Glad to be here. Thank you.
Of course. Now, when we talk about human resources, what does that job actually entail? What are you doing?
That's a good question, because it could be just about anything having to do with people in the company. Years ago, it was just called personnel. Then it was personnel administration. Then they got fancy and it made it into human resources. If you go to some more enlightened big companies, they'll even call it the people division.
Oh.
But basically, it's anything that has to do with the employees of the company, from recruiting them, bringing them on and training them, setting them up for their benefits, doing whatever you need to do to protect the company by following all kinds of government regulations.
Okay.
And if you're really lucky and you get into the director level, then you can actually become involved in the strategic planning for a company, which is when it really becomes fun.
Okay, so let's talk about the education necessary to apply to one of these jobs, and then where you can go within the company.
Okay, well, typically you would start off right out of college as a human resources assistant.
Okay.
I think you could get a job with an associate's degree for sure, but a bachelor's degree would be preferred. Mm-hmm. What discipline? Depends. Mine was psychology. I happened to also get a master's degree in human resources management.
Okay.
But if you have any kind of business inclination, that also would lead itself right into career advancement. The fact is that what's more important in the human resources line of work is your experience and the certifications that you get along the lines.
Okay.
That's what's going to help you get promoted.
Okay, so there's some continuing education involved.
Absolutely. Both the certifications that are most prominent are from the Society of Human Resources Management and the Human Resources Certification Institute. The basic certification is called the PHR, Professional in Human Resources, but SHRM, as it's called, has a whole bunch of others. Because the fact is that although, in my personal opinion, the best way to start out is to get a job where you're a generalist, to where you have to learn everything about testing, benefits, laws, safety. In the long run, these certifications will help you to get more specialized jobs. And if you move into bigger companies with thousands of people, then they have a great deal of specialization. You have people who do nothing but benefits administration, people who do nothing but training. There you go.
Okay, so there's a lot of different options. Yeah. Okay, perfect.
The typical way is to come in as a human resources assistant in a small company.
Okay, great. Yes. And so, like you just said, there are small companies, there are large companies, there's all kinds of stuff. And so this affects the salary range as well.
Absolutely. Your compensation basically does depend on the size of the company that you work for.
Okay.
If you think about it, it goes like this. A mom and pop organization, they set up a little shop and start making money. They don't see the need for a human resources person. When they get to a certain size, they start doing it themselves, payroll, benefits, all that. And then at a certain point, they realize, hey, we need somebody to come in here and do this as a dedicated professional. That's when that is when the job takes on all these different features.
More responsibility, yes, for sure.
More responsibility that you take on, the higher the pay. So to cut to it, you can start if in a small organization, smaller metropolitan area, you can probably enter at $35,000 to $45,000 as a human resources assistant. If you're successful and upgrade to human resources generalist and then manager meaning that you supervise other human resources people, then that's going to put your salary in the $50,000 to $70,000 range. the sky's the limit if you are in a very large organization. For example, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area or even the Austin area, you get into the top echelon, the C-type executives range from $100,000 to $250,000 per year.
Oh, wow, not bad.
Yeah.
So do you have any final thoughts or messages for somebody who's saying, you know what, that sounds like me, I'm a people person? What would you tell them?
I tell them this. I started out with a career as an industrial organizational psychologist. Then I retired from federal service, and then I got a job about 16 years ago in human resources. It's absolutely great. It's fun. You learn something new every day. I loved the people that I used to work with didn't think I'd be any good at it, but I found that I'm really good at working with people, and when they come to me with real problems, I'm able to help them, and that gives me a great deal of satisfaction.
Wonderful. Well, Monty, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you coming in.
You're welcome.
And of course, you can always find more information on the Concho Valley Workforce Solutions website and our website, ConchoValleyHomepage.com. That's all for right now, but we'll see you next time on Career A Day.